ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 29 of the Callous Mind Talking Head livecast with yours truly, Callous Mind. In today's video, we're going to discuss a great many things, and I'm going to get a little bit heated, I'm sure, so there will be expletives following in this video. But before I get to all that, I want to start with today's video sponsor, which is Buy Custom Coins. If you're looking to buy custom coins, custom medals, or custom lapel pins, then you need to check out buycustomcoins.com. It's the most obvious place online to buy your first or next custom coin. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and jump right into this. This was the first story on the thumbnail of this video, and this was from April 12th. Arizona lawmakers pass fantasy sports bill, heads to Ducey for signature. And let's see here. Just minutes after the vote, Ducey tweeted a new tribal state gaming compact just passed the legislature. The updated agreement is a win-win for Arizona's tribal members of sports leagues and teams. Thank you to everyone who worked to improve Arizona's gaming compact. SB 1797 would legalize online sports betting and authorize 10 licensees to set up sports books at or near stadiums, racetracks, and golf courses. So I don't know about you, but I do like to occasionally make a sports wager, and I specifically like to make these sports wagers on football. I really liked parlays. I hardly ever won, but I usually, if you can hit them, you can win some pretty decent money. So, but there's also been times where I've done online sports betting, like through a Canadian organization or something, I think, and I never did get my payout. Like in 2001, I'd actually picked the Diamondbacks to win the World Series. I'd wagered money on it, and I won, but I never got my payout. So there you go. So this is interesting. As a result, people would be able to bet on their favorite teams at their venues. Fans could place bets on the Diamondbacks at Chase Field or the Suns at the Phoenix Suns Arena, for example. 10 more licenses would go to tribes that would allow them to open new casinos or sports books. The bill would also lead to a renegotiation of the state's compact with tribes. Most of the state's tribes support the bill. State Senator Sally Gonzalez, a Democrat and member of the Yakai tribe, opposes SB 1797, saying in the long run it will be detrimental to Indian gaming and Indian communities. The tribes do want it, and they've asked our leaders to vote for it, but you know how they're doing it, with their hands behind their backs because they need and want a new compact, and the governor is holding this legislation to pass before he signs a new compact with them, she said. Well, you know what? I don't necessarily know that. I don't know that would hurt the Indian gaming. I mean, if they have sports books inside the Indian casinos, I would think that would be a big benefit for them because it's going to bring in people who may not gamble. They might not do slot machines or whatever, but they may do sports betting. So it may actually be more beneficial because it'll bring in a new crowd. Let's see, the article goes on to say hockey and baseball are two of the sports Brian Rodriguez already likes wagering on. He hosts the Dollar Bet, Arizona sports betting podcast. And now that sports wagering in Arizona is about to be legal, he'll have a whole lot more to talk about. It's going to be unique. We have a great tournament with TPC Scottsdale and Waste Management, and now you're going to be able to watch and place a bet too. It's going to be really awesome, Rodriguez said. It's going to benefit not just the state as a whole, but our Native American communities as well. I represent two of them, and I know they were very excited, said Arizona Republican Senator T.J. Shope, who also sponsored the bill. So that is pretty cool. All right, and so the next story is NFL related. This too was also on the thumbnail, and this was from April 14th. Jadeveon Clowney, Cleveland Browns reach one-year deal worth up to $10 million, sources source says. Free agent pass rusher Jadeveon Clowney has signed a one-year deal with the Cleveland Browns. It was announced Wednesday. The deal is worth up to $10 million, a source told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Clowney will have an opportunity to thrive playing opposite fellow former number 1 overall pick Myles Garrett. That's going to be a hell of a bookend right there, I'll tell you. Jadeveon on one side and Myles Garrett on the other, boy. I've been getting double teamed an awful lot in the league in my career, Clowney said during his virtual news conference. I'm looking forward to playing with somebody dominant on the other side in Myles Garrett who can draw a double team. Maybe I can go one-on-one more. The 28-year-old Clowney visited with the Browns last month, sources told ESPN, but left Cleveland without a deal. General manager Andrew Berry also heavily pursued him last season to pair with Garrett, but the three-time Pro Bowler reportedly rejected Cleveland's multi-year contract offer and ultimately signed a one-year $13 million deal with the Tennessee Titans. We're excited to add Jadeveon to our defensive line. Browns coach Kevin Stefanski said in a statement, he's a disruptive force that will help us against the run and the pass. We've been able to make some nice additions in our defense throughout free agency, and we are looking forward to getting to work so we can improve our team. Clowney struggled in 2020 with Tennessee, finishing with 19 tackles and 0 sacks in 8 games before suffering a season-ending knee injury in November. He had surgery in December and is expected to be at full health for the start of the 2021 season. I feel great now, Clowney said. I'm looking forward to this season to prove to guys that I'm back healthy and I can still dominate in this league. Over the past 3 seasons, Clowney has ranked 5th in the NFL with a pass rush win rate of 25%, according to ESPN Stats and Information. During that span, Garrett ranks 3rd at 26%. We love his relentless style of play, Berry said in a statement. He's one of the more disruptive players in the game, and we think he's going to add an element of ruggedness along our defensive line that will pair nicely with many of the guys we have on the roster already. The other thing we love about Jadeveon is his versatility, his ability to play all across the front and impact the game regardless of his alignment. Cleveland already bolstered its pass rush in free agency last month, signing Takk McKinley to a one-year deal. McKinley struggled with injuries last season, but ranked 7th in pass rush win rate in 2018, 1 spot behind Clowney and 4 behind Garrett that season. The number 1 overall selection by the Houston Texans in 2014, Clowney can play any position along the defensive front, which makes him valuable to teams wanting scheme versatility. He is a disruptive player as an interior pass rusher or coming off the edge. Clowney has 255 tackles, 75 for loss, 86 quarterback hits, and 32 sacks in his 7 seasons. Over his career, he has dealt with various knee injuries in addition to groin, elbow, back, and Lindsfrack injuries. The Browns now have 3 of the past 7 number 1 overall draft picks on their roster, including quarterback Baker Mayfield. All right, and the next story up is also one from the thumbnail. This story was from April 14th. Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier to host capacity crowd at UFC 264 in Las Vegas. A capacity crowd will be present at UFC 264 on July 10th in Las Vegas. UFC President Dana White announced on Wednesday the pay-per-view card will be held at T-Mobile Arena and headlined by the trilogy fight between Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. I signed bout agreement this morning, McGregor told ESPN's Ariel Helwani on Wednesday. I'm going to rip this game a new asshole July 10th. The Mac is back in Sin City, full house. McGregor aims to rebound from his second-round TKO loss to Poirier at UFC 257 in January. He had previously beaten Poirier in 2014. I'm so happy to finally be able to say Vegas is back, White said in his tweeted video. This summer, Las Vegas is back open for business, and on July 10th, UFC 264 will be at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas at 100% capacity. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 20,000 fans. White's tweet comes a day after Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak announced a goal to remove social distancing restrictions by May 1 and reach 100% capacity across the state effective June 1. A statewide mask mandate will remain. The UFC has held events in Vegas, Florida, and Fight Island in Abu Dhabi since the start of the coronavirus pandemic. UFC 261 on April 24th features 3 title fights and will be held in Jacksonville, Florida. It will be the first pay-per-view with a capacity crowd since March 2020. So, are you guys buying the pay-per-view this weekend for April 24th, UFC 261? I actually am, because I want to see this fight. I want to see Usman Masvidal. I thought the first fight was compelling, and there's going to be 3 title fights, and the second one between these guys, and that's compelling enough for me to make the purchase. So I'll probably have something to say about UFC 261 next week for those who don't make the purchase and just want to listen to me crackle on about whatever. But all right, so this story, here we go. This story is from a few days ago, and it really, really just burns my ass to no end. But excuse me one second while I take a drink. I don't know how many of you watching this video follow the news or pay attention to politics or the news in general or watch any mainstream media, but I feel like these folks in the mainstream media have been telling us for a long time to not believe our lying eyes. Believe what we say, but don't believe what you see. And to me, this story is a great example of that. So, published 4 days ago, reporters scold Minnesota police chief for describing unrest after Daunte Wright shooting as riot. Reporters scolded Brooklyn Center, Minnesota Police Chief Tim Gannon Monday for using the term riot to describe the violence that took place Sunday night following the deadly shooting of 20-year-old Daunte Wright by a police officer. Violence erupted in the Minneapolis suburb in response to the shooting, which Gannon suggested was a mistake by the officer, who confused her gun with her taser and fired at Wright as he attempted to drive off in his car. Demonstrations outside the Brooklyn Center Police Department grew violent as rioters threw objects at officers, and several areas were looted. However, Gannon appeared to trigger reporters on Monday's press conference over his description of what he witnessed overnight. What was your decision to issue a dispersal order while they were peacefully protesting in front of the police station? A reporter asked, before noting that CO2 canisters and gas that were also used on the crowd. Just so that everybody's clear, I was front and center at the protest at the riot, Gannon began. Don't do that, one reporter interjected. There was no riot, another pushed back. It was Gannon, doubled down. The officers that were putting themselves in harm's way were being pelted with frozen cans of pop. They were being pelted with concrete blocks. And yes, we had our helmets on and we had other protections and gear, but an officer was injured, hit in the head with a brick. So we had to make some decisions. We had to disperse the crowd because we cannot allow our officers to be harmed. Last year, following the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis police custody, NBC reportedly told its journalists to only refer to unrest in Minnesota as protests and not riots. MSNBC host and Today co-anchor Craig Melvin shed some light on how the network was framing its reporting at the time. That's key. Framing its reporting. This will guide our reporting in Minnesota, he tweeted. While the situation on the ground in Minneapolis is fluid and there has been violence, it is most accurate at this time to describe what is happening there as protests, not riots. Critics who accuse the network of downplaying the violence that took place in the city following Floyd's death in May 2020. So that seems like it ends that story, but it doesn't end the story for me, because I, for one, am fucking fed up with people telling me to stop believing my lying eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, my eyes do not lie. Okay? If places are being looted and shit's being burned down, it ain't no fucking peaceful protest. That's one of the main problems in our country right now is we have a great deal of dishonesty and people acting in tremendously bad faith. And I'm going to continue to believe my eyes and not just blindly eat the bullshit that's being fed to me by these mainstream networks. Good Lord Almighty. All right, let me see what other stories I got going here. Oh, here's one that I thought was kind of funny and sad at the same time. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if you all had seen this, but it looked like Aaron Donald was falsely accused by someone, and there was another story that came out after that. So on April 16th, attorney says client mistook Rams Aaron Donald for attacker, apologizes. The attorney representing DeVincent Spriggs, the man who accused Los Angeles Rams defensive lineman Aaron Donald of assault earlier this week, is now offering an apology to Donald on behalf of his client. Attorney Todd J. Hollis told Pittsburgh television station KDKA on Friday evening that Spriggs mistook his attacker outside a Pittsburgh area nightclub for Donald. The apology comes on the same day when an attorney hired by Donald refuted Spriggs' claim that Donald was involved in the assault. Casey White, Donald's attorney, told ESPN on Friday morning that Spriggs swung a bottle at Donald that grazed his head as he ducked before other people surrounding Donald stepped in. As he ducks, somebody from behind grabs him to stop him from interacting with this guy, Mr. Spriggs. So he holds Donald back in a sense. White said at that point, that's when other people come to Aaron's aid and defend him by removing, so to speak, Mr. Spriggs from the area where he is punched and he is fighting. It's a mutual fight at this point between other individuals who Aaron does not really know. White said that they have obtained at least 5 witness accounts and have others who have come forward willing to provide statements. White also said that video surveillance from the area did not show Donald assaulting Spriggs and that Donald eventually helped pull people away from Spriggs. Aaron actually runs over to Spriggs' aid and starts pulling people off of this guy, White said. He's trying to get these kids off Spriggs. He gets at least 2 or 3 people off of Spriggs, and at that point in time somebody grabs Aaron and says, "This is not a good situation, let's get the heck out of here." Hollis had filed a criminal complaint on behalf of Spriggs with Pittsburgh police on Wednesday, saying his client needed 16 stitches and suffered a broken orbital bone, a broken nose, a concussion, and a sprained or broken arm. Damn. The alleged attack occurred around 3 a.m. Sunday, Hollis said, and that the attorney released a photo that showed Spriggs with facial injuries and swelling. According to Hollis, Spriggs accidentally bumped into Donald, and an incident ensued inside the nightclub that caused both parties to be asked to leave. White said Spriggs dug his elbow into Donald's back, which Donald initially brushed off, thinking it as likely was someone he knew. He turned around, and it's this Mr. Spriggs, and Aaron goes, "What's up?" And Mr. Spriggs starts yelling belligerently, "Did I mean to? Did I mean to?" He keeps repeating. It's kind of nonsensical, but he keeps yelling, "Did I mean to?" It's apparent to Aaron, and it's apparent to all the witnesses, that Spriggs is intoxicated, White said. White said Spriggs was then escorted out of the establishment, which he described as a private party in somebody's apartment above a business bar area. According to White, Donald and a colleague left the party shortly after, where they encountered Spriggs in the back alleyway off the exit. Prior to the apology Friday, the Rams had previously released a statement saying they were aware of the reports regarding Donald, who is a three-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year and seven-time Pro Bowl selection with 85.5 career sacks. Donald, 29, is a Pittsburgh native and was a star college player at Pitt, where he often trains during the offseason. The Rams selected Donald with a 13th overall pick in 2014 draft. He is in the midst of a 6-year, $135 million extension. So, all right. Now I've been following this story closely with Deshaun Watson. So something new came out. This was from April 14th. Women amend lawsuits versus Texans Deshaun Watson to disclose names. New suit filed while another one is dropped. 22 women who had filed lawsuits alleging inappropriate behavior and sexual assault by Deshaun Watson have amended their petitions to disclose their names, including a new lawsuit against the Houston Texans quarterback filed Wednesday afternoon at the Harris County District Clerk's office. The latest lawsuit was filed by a freelance makeup artist who says Watson reached out to her via Instagram direct message on September 2nd, 2020, asking if she offered massages. The lawsuit details two separate incidents that occurred during massage sessions in September and November, during which Watson allegedly assaulted and harassed the woman by exposing himself, touching her with his penis, and groping her. The plaintiff alleges that while she was massaging Watson the second time, he instructed her to grab his penis. She said no before eventually doing as Watson instructed, because the pressure from Watson's relentless instruction coercing her against her will left her powerless. This week, one of the original 22 lawsuits filed against Watson was dropped by a plaintiff for now, according to court documents. In light of privacy and security concerns, plaintiffs decided not to pursue her case for now, the document said. Plaintiff reserves the right to refile this case once such concerns are addressed. After 20 of the original petitions were amended Wednesday, one was refiled and amended Thursday after an emergency hearing was canceled Wednesday. On Friday, two judges ruled that most of the plaintiffs suing Watson must identify themselves. The rulings from two hearings Friday covered 13 of the lawsuits filed against Watson, while the attorneys also agreed to release a 14th name later in the day. Before Friday, only two women had been publicly identified. Another emergency hearing to determine whether the remaining lawsuits should be amended has been scheduled for Wednesday, but was called off shortly before it was scheduled to begin. The plaintiff's attorney, Tony Busby, said in a statement Tuesday that his law firm previously attempted to make available to defense counsel the names of the plaintiffs suing Deshaun Watson and intended to do so in due course. We were concerned about the safety of our plaintiffs and asked the Watson team to agree to a protective order where the identifiers, the identities could be used in litigation but not broadcast to the world, Busby's statement continued. In a statement last week, Watson's lawyer, Rusty Hardin, said that when his law firm asked Busby to identify his clients weeks ago, he refused and told us to file a motion. While I understand that the anonymity often is used as a shield for victims, Mr. Busby, is using it as a sword, Hardin said in a statement on Thursday while shielding his clients from public scrutiny. Mr. Busby continues to use their anonymous allegations to destroy Mr. Watson. It's simply not right, and we look forward to resolving these matters in court. So, and this, I believe that I just pulled this up today. This kind of really surprises me. Sterling Brown of Houston Rockets suffers facial lacerations and assault. Good Lord, a basketball player getting assaulted, man. What the hell? Houston Rockets small forward Sterling Brown suffered facial lacerations during an assault Sunday night, the team said. In a statement Monday, the Rockets said Brown had no prior knowledge of or interaction with the assailants. He is expected to make a full recovery, according to the team. The Rockets are in Miami for a Monday night matchup against the Heat. Brown is with the team, but had previously been ruled out for the game due to a knee injury. Heart-wrenching. Rips your heart out, Houston coach Steven Silas said before the game. It's one of your guys, someone on your team that you care about, someone that you're with every day. As far as how I'm feeling and how the team is feeling, we're all just thankful. Number one, that he's going to be okay, and also down. Number one, that he's going to be okay, and also down about what happened. It wasn't immediately known if any incident reports were filed with police. The NBA said it was gathering information on the incident and was hopeful Brown makes a full recovery. Brown, 26, is in his first season in Houston, averaging 8.2 points and 4.4 rebounds in 51 games. He had spent the previous 3 seasons with the Milwaukee Bucks, averaging 5.2 points and 3.1 rebounds. See, the article goes on. Brown first filed a lawsuit against the city of Milwaukee. Oh, wait, no. Let me go back up here. While in Milwaukee, Brown was thrust into the national spotlight when he alleged that police officers targeted him outside a Walgreens store on January 26, 2018. He alleged that Milwaukee officers targeted him because he is black. They used a stun gun when he didn't immediately remove his hands from his pockets when ordered to while waiting for a parking citation. Brown first filed a lawsuit against the city of Milwaukee in June 2018 after body camera footage was released showing a police officer stepping on his ankle during the arrest, while others mocked his potential civil rights complaint. Brown reached a $750,000 settlement with the city in November. Wow. Alright, well, let me trot out here and check and see we got any live chat going on or anything. Oh my gosh, no, that is too funny on Adam's part. I gotta show this to everybody. Oh my gosh. So Adam said, I love getting massages from makeup artists too. You go, Deshaun. And his gardener is going to be next to file. Man, that is just unbelievable, dude, with all this stuff, man. I cannot believe all these friggin' allegations, so I don't know. I guess we'll see what comes out. So I hope for the young man's sake that it's not true, but I just don't know. One is how does the saying go? One is an anomaly, 2 is a trend, and 3 is a pattern, or something like that. So I don't know. It's a bad deal all the way around, but I think that's gonna pretty much do it for the show this week. I thank you, Adam, for joining as always and contributing to the show. And I want to thank everybody who watched the live stream and or is watching the replay. And I hope you guys have a pleasant 420. Enjoy your happy smoke and be good to yourselves and each other. And I will see you all again next Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's it. So until then, be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you later. God bless.